Man, these batteries just don't last. All right, we got a bunch done actually, but it doesn't look like a bunch is done. But where we're at is we're about to do something with this downpipe, and we had to add an O2 bung. So it's supposed to be 2 feet away from the turbo, and you don't want it like laying on the bottom of the car where it's going to be in, you know, condensation and crap. You kind of want it onto one side. That's where this is. This is going to point towards the engine block when it sits in there. So nice little radius O2 bung available at monkeyfabgarage.com. That's right, monkeyfabgarage.com. Be sure to check it out. I need all the help I can get supporting this project, boys and girls. So I'm gonna get this welded up. We'll video some of that. I also got to weld those one joint. Just, I don't know, one joint just got completely missed here, but we're gonna weld that joint up, and we're going to put our bung on there, and we'll try to figure out whether or not I want to heat wrap this thing. It'd be smart to heat wrap it because that way you'll keep heat out of the engine bay, but it's also pretty. So I'm torn. I might just leave it unwrapped at first and see how it does, and see if we get too much heat in the bay. I don't know. Probably just, I don't know. Who knows? Because it is disgusting. Yes. This thing hates focusing. All right, O2 bung on. What do you call this? This joint done. So we got that guy ready. We're gonna let it cool off because it is the temperature of the sun, and I'll probably wrap it. Should I wrap it? Probably should wrap it. It'd be the smart functional thing to do. I hate wrapping stuff. It's so itchy. I don't know. I'm dying, people. But we're all dying, so get that through your head. We got the wide lens back on. All right, let's take a look at what has been going on up in Meow. So we got all the spark plug wires and spark plugs. I even got the right number 7s in there because I remember I was missing one, and it's back in. And yeah, so I need to hook the fuel line up. Okay, so this side, this is the business side, obviously, and it is all pretty much snugged up. We got the, I did heat wrap the downpipe. I figure why not just try to keep a little bit of the heat out of the exhaust, and that way with less stuff to worry about. You see how I put our O2 sensor right here, a little heat sleevey guy right around it. And yeah, so pretty happy with that. Everything is pretty far away from the heat source. I'll probably zip tie this guy so it's not just laying right up against that pipe, but there's actually a good probably 2 inches between any part of that and the pipe, so happy about that. The radiator bottom is hooked up, turbo is all hooked up with our feed lines, and our feed line is yes, that is like some cheap thing that I got in a turbo, like eBay turbo fitting, the blue and red. But I'm just that cheap, you know. You can take the kid out of the pores, but you can't take the pores out of the kid. Something like that. And yeah, lots of stuff going on. Oh, so we got our lines for the transmission cooler hooked up, and we got to sort through our fuel return. We have fuel line, fuel return. We got to put on the power steering and the air conditioner, but we are making progress, so pretty happy. All right, boys and girls, I'm sure it looks the same to you, but I swear I've been working this thing all day long. So this is where we're at. And yeah, what have we done? Well, we plugged most of the wiring harness in, the stuff that we know that needs to be plugged in. Got the AC bracketry mounted, the power steering and alternator bracket mounted with the alternator obviously in the power steering, and bolted in the power steering lines, and the alternator hooked it up, and map sensor, O2 sensor, all that stuff. We have to mess with these lines, all have to be hooked into the air conditioning and the coolant system, but that's no big deal. We got the turbo all bolted in, turbo blanket, all the heat shielding stuff on. We got our O2 sensor put in that guy, we already showed you that. And intake, our couplers are all hooked up. Yeah, so not too bad. Not too bad. I still got to put the exhaust back up under there, but I think I'm going to wait till Jacob shows back up to help me out, since I don't want to. Check out my dead thumb. My dual thumbnails, because the one nail's growing over the other where I cut it at. Bob's being crazy. Yeah, belt in, coolant system all hooked up. I do need to put in the line for the steam vents, and we got to plumb the return and our flex fuel sensor on the back side. I think I'm just going to use my 6 push lock is what I'm thinking would be the easiest way. I can just push lock it, I can just rubber hose end it onto the thing, put some clamps on it, and pump it back to the tank. That's already all hooked up, so not a big deal. We're pretty much ready to go, so which is good. I told Jacob's in Washington right now. He's responsible for wiring and air conditioning. See, I did that. I told him by the time he got back, you'd be ready for wiring and air conditioning. So I think we've pretty much hit that. Tomorrow, I'll just do some cleaning up, little odds and ends, but we are pretty much all reassembled here. Everything we need for the new ECU system, the pedal, all the wiring, the new O2 sensor, it's all hooked up. The new dash, we got that installed on the dash, not actually in the car, but on the dash, and it's ready to go in. So just lots of wiring and computing to do, which is not my cup of tea. So I was smart and kicked that can to a friend that's better at it than I am, and we'll let him do it. So I'm pretty happy with all this right now. Good day's work. Remember, most of the stuff we're using, little pieces and parts, you can always find at Monkey Fab Garage, monkeyfabgarage.com. That is monkeyfabgarage.com. Turbo fabrication stuff, super cheap fittings, lines, turbo mounts, you name it, we got it there. V-bands. So be sure to drop by and check out monkeyfabgarage.com. And until next video, this is Mike of Monkey Fab signing out.